Again, it's snowing, guys. A heads up, it's snowing. But no, I wanted to give you guys another heads up. It seems as though YouTube has again broken the app and updated it and broken it for probably a lot of people because again the app will face the incorrect direction when you're live. So you know, if you're facing it forward, you're facing it the way it's facing now. It doesn't matter. When you go live, it will count down and it will go live and it will flip the camera around. So if you have a teenager that streams or something like that, just be alert of the fact that they should always have clothes on, because YouTube, and they won't, you know, I mean, like, teenagers do what they want to do, right? They're going to do stupid stuff, and they're going to be seen on camera for everybody to see and make fun of in school and stuff like that, because, again, YouTube wants to embarrass people. They want people to be seen live in embarrassing situations, and they like to troll people, and we've seen tons of evidence of this on this channel, where I've intentionally made myself a target for trolls. I intentionally do this, you know, essentially to show anybody that actually cares out there just how bad it is. And you know, essentially you can see it at any given time on this channel, because YouTube actually joins in on the trolling, the bullying, and stuff like that, because they also you know, have their employees that do things they shouldn't be doing. And so again, we've mentioned this before, but when you go live on the YouTube app, it's supposed to, you know, just face whatever direction you have the camera facing. It's not supposed to, by default, flip around to the front-facing camera, regardless of what you have the setting on. YouTube fixed this for a while after I made a point that, again, if a teenager or some young kid was, you know, like, just, you know, teenager, not wearing clothes, topless, would go live really quick, you know, not for very long. You know, the idea is they weren't planning on, like, showing themselves, but let's say they go live and they have the camera facing forward the way it's facing now, and they don't know about this update. They don't know it's going to happen. What's going to happen is it's going to flip around, and it's going to expose them, and it's going to show things they didn't want to show and stuff like that. So again, YouTube, I made them aware of this, and it was fixed for a period of time. And then when I mentioned it again, when I said that YouTube fixed it, after mentioning this as a serious security threat that could expose people, they reverted it back. So now again, when I go live, the camera is facing my direction, regardless of whether it's facing forward or not. I set it to face forward. Hence, you can see the thumbnail. You can see that I took the thumbnail with the camera facing that direction. So therefore, the camera was facing that way. I did not flip it around, yet I was prepared. So therefore, the camera flipped around, and instead of facing the way I authorized it to face, the way I told my device, my app, to face the camera. So the point is, YouTube likes to trick people. They like doing this. They want to expose people. They want people to be seen in their worst. They enjoy bullying and harming people, because the point is, remember, I have made myself a target for bullies and trolls on this channel on purpose. And they come in by storm, and YouTube makes it worse every time. Every single time, YouTube makes it worse. They don't help things, they make things worse. They actually help the trolls and the bullies. They don't actually assist me at all. If anything, they do quite the opposite. Oftentimes, YouTube will sit there and actually make things like cause a technical problem just because they don't like the idea that I'm saying something that's going to get a certain employee or something in trouble, somebody in trouble. They will actually cause a technical issue for me, and they've done this many times. Other streamers have noticed this too. I'm not the only one. This is a very common occurrence for YouTube to actually retaliate and cause a technical glitch for a streamer that is talking about an issue that, essentially causes a problem for their channel. And there you go, there's a troll right there, just a case in point to continue proving that we do get regularly trolled. And, the bait worked, like essentially it's been working very well. We've been drawing them in, and not only that, it's just the lingering, mainly the one stalker that's always watching. He's typically the one doing the unlike. So the point is, this person has single-handedly been able to make 30 plus alts, like up to 30 times, remove those likes within the same stream to de-escalate the stream, cause a problem. The same person has been allowed to actually type death threats in the chat, type death threats on the channel and posts. Several times this person has actually caused technical glitches for the channel, which does affect concurrent viewership and views over time. And it's not just several, it's actually going back to almost every stream that I have. This person is there to try to cause some sort of an issue. So this is what we have picked up because YouTube likes bullying and encourages retaliation methods and stuff like that. So basically, if I want to block somebody and I want to have the ability to do that, I should be able to do that implicitly, and they can't interact with my channel henceforth whatsoever. But YouTube won't make that rule. So as you can see, this person that I blocked a long time ago, that is very upset and bitter that they can't siphon viewers and subscribers by being in my chat and talking in my chat and only being there to talk in my chat to siphon viewers. He is here to cause a problem until his name is brought up. Basically, that's what he does, and this is the gang activity that's actually going on YouTube. There's real gang activity, and that's why it's being investigated. We have these content creators making entire channels off of canceling people, harassing them, and then being ready to take their audience, essentially making content about this. Being ready to make content based on the people that be missing from said channel. So that way, they're poised to essentially get all the subscribers from the canceled channel, from the person that they bullied, they actually caused to get canceled. So this is why these things are being investigated, like partially why they're being investigated, not just, but partially why, because it is very obvious that there is organized crime on this platform. that, you know, teenagers are at risk, and quite frankly, YouTube retaliates and causes more problems. So like, again, I started with mentioning the stream. I can't physically go live any longer with my camera facing the direction that it's facing right now. I can no longer do that. When I go live, my camera will automatically flip around to the front camera. And like literally every single time. And I mentioned this a while back, but that is a serious security threat. Again, what if like you had a teenage daughter or something like that? She's 16, she's like in her bra, you know, she's just hanging out in her room. Maybe she just does this. Who cares? She's behind closed doors. The point is, like, maybe she's just planning on going live or something like that for a few minutes to throw something out there, and then 3, 2, 1 goes live, thing flips around, all of a sudden there she is topless in front of a camera and she's live. It's not okay. And YouTube would just not let you know. YouTube would literally just update this thing. Constantly just change all these things about their trash app to begin with. It's just trash app to begin with. Literally never works properly. But then they completely change the entire thing, update it completely to where it's broken. Again, not an update, just broken. So, that's what they have done. And again, I mentioned this before, and they quick fixed it. They fixed it by the next time I went live. Now, after mentioning it again, and mentioning that they fixed it, that to cover their asses, that they fixed it, they reverted it back. It is now the other way around again. And I cannot go live with it facing this way. It will automatically flip around to my front camera, no, regardless of what I tell it to do. And again, that's my authorization. There are buttons there specifically for that. So, and again, you guys know my filters are gone too. I don't have the button for the filters anymore. I made this post probably a few days ago, I think. And you saw the screen of what it looks like. There's also a black bar. It's very clear the screen is being squished, not the correct aspect. It's very clear that YouTube just wants these streams to be the utmost lowest quality, and that they're going to mess that up as much as possible to make sure that they don't have to process the quality that we can put out. That's what they don't want. And they want us to continue to degrade and get lesser in quality while other streamers surpass. Meanwhile, sometimes my quality has been significantly better than some even professional streamers, because that's what I care about. So that's the point. Since I make that the thing that I always cared about, quality, that's what the trolls target. And this is it. Like, this is the whole time I've been on this channel, pretty much, I have made myself this target. And YouTube has very obviously, blatantly made it clear that they enjoy bullying. They think it's entertaining. When there are people in my chat causing problems, yada, yada, yada. This is when we get views. When I'm complaining about a problem, this is when we get views. It's not legitimately when we have good content. No, then suddenly there'll be a technical glitch with the stream. If we have good content, suddenly there'll be some sort of technical glitch with the stream that'll cause a problem for that good content. And then thus we make a stream after that, and they boost that one. But that next stream is me talking about what happened. Because again, if I communicate directly with YouTube, if I use YouTube and or Google's direct communications, I am harassed even further. That's right. I am harassed even further. I noticed that a big trend with me communicating directly with YouTube and or Google to give the proper feedback through the proper channels, I get directly harassed far more on my channel. Isn't that interesting? I found that interesting too. I found it interesting that every single time I use that feature to directly submit something to YouTube, you know, screenshot, yada, yada, yada. I will then, the very next stream, and this has been every single time I've done this, I will then, the next stream, have somebody in my chat that created their channel today, and they will be saying something inappropriate, harassing, or otherwise very bad for the channel and very bad for YouTube, so that way they can lower the audience that would otherwise see my stream. So that way they can say, oh, he's the one without the mods, and he's the one without the provisions that's preventing people from not swearing in his chat. So therefore, we're minimizing his stream, his audience, and removing viewers and stuff like that because we don't want to accept responsibility, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, they're the ones doing it. Yeah, when I communicate the technical issues to YouTube, YouTube employees then proceed to make their little accounts, come in my chat, and say nasty things. And this has, again, been every single time I use direct means of communicating with YouTube to tell them about glitches and technical problems that I'm having. Okay? So, I gotta be honest with you, even if I was rude, let's say like people are like, oh, I wonder how rude he's being in these communications. Even if I were, and that's your justification, yeah, I can understand there's gonna be some of that here and there. I get that. There's gonna be some employees that can't handle, don't know what professional means. When I'm coming from being a content creator, I'm the one having the issues over and over and over and over, and they're not doing their jobs to prevent that. That's my standpoint. And most of these communications in the beginning were nice. Most. Yeah, at a certain point, you start saying, why the fuck, why is this happening? Why the F is this happening? Why the F is this happening? Every time. To drive the point. And so, the point is, they are very clearly trying to convince people and somebody that I maybe have been, that way or something like that. You're talking about words on a screen that you're reading. What are you scared of? Why can't you just literally fix the problems I'm reporting? Are you kidding me? Are you literally fucking kidding me? So because a guy typed fuck in a message or a screenshot or an email or something like that, therefore don't listen to a single other word that he says. What? These are the things that I noticed in the beginning. And then I started to realize, no. That's a justification that I'm actually giving them. It's not a real one. Yeah, it's not a real one. I started realizing that me making myself the target for the trolls was getting to me, and I was actually reacting to it and changing the way I would normally react to things. So I started running with it. I started going, you know what? I want to see just how many people actually bully somebody these days. And I proceeded to be a target. It doesn't feel great, obviously. Do I personally give a shit what all these other people think? No, not really. what really bothers me, and this is why I reiterate, like, people in real life watching and stuff like that, this is why I've, like, told them to always let me know who they are and stuff. Because if I don't know who you are, how do I know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that you're the person that I actually know and not some random fucking troll that's trying to plot something. You have to realize, at this point, somebody coming in my chat, pretty much anybody coming in my chat at this point, you have to realize that I have a watchful eye at this point of basically almost anybody. Because pretty much everybody that's come in my chat has noticed that I'm a target and taken advantage of that. That's what's really interesting and fascinating to me. I think it's really fascinating that almost everybody, and some people that would actually call themselves heroes, actually troll and kind of bully somebody on purpose, knowing that, you know, they're not having the best time. You know, like I'm yelling about the games and acting like, you know, like the point is, like, you guys don't know what's going on in my personal life. You don't actually know what's actually bothering me. Oh no, there is something, but it has nothing to do with YouTube. And I'm not going to talk about it. It has to do with the thing I told you guys about before. And I was honest about a couple of times, and then took the stream down so that you guys would know. It's that simple. And again, that has nothing to do with YouTube or fucking trolls. You think I give a shit what people think? No. The point is, this matters. Like, how can you... That's a massive security risk. How can you have an app where somebody that's going live, counting on that camera facing forward, could possibly go live, and then the camera just flips around? That's a huge security risk. Again, maybe they didn't want to show the thing that was on the other side of that camera. Well, the point is, YouTube employees, most of the time, can see that. And they're already looking at you. This is what YouTube doesn't want you to know. YouTube doesn't actually want you to know just how often their employees are actually kind of staring at you. Yeah, it's pretty often. This is why they've been trying to switch to, like, botting and stuff, having bots do everything to try to avoid legal issues from employees and stuff, but they've already, because YouTube employees were sitting there staring at somebody that they weren't supposed to be staring at. They're just sitting there looking at them. And they're causing a problem for the stream doing it too. So, anyway, the point is that, I mean, I was a martial arts instructor for a long time, man. I owned a school for it. I mean, the people come in and say in my chat doesn't hurt my precious feelings. This is why I always talk about it like that, because I don't care. I'm a lot tougher than that. It's more about acting like I do to get a rise out of it, to again continue to show that YouTube will basically enable it, make it worse, kind of. So again, like these guys that have been doing this, you know how YouTube's very obviously causing problems for my channel? I'm getting like almost no views. Why aren't they doing these things to the people that are causing these problems for me? This is what I wonder. Or maybe they are, so these people continue causing problems for me and make it worse. Like, I don't know. But all I'm trying to do is make content, man. Yeah, like ultimately, I would love to just never have to deal with that stupid crap anymore, and then just sit there and make the content and actually have a focus. The focus that we used to have, you guys know that like we used to talk about this. The focus that we had was we would talk a lot about FPS. We would talk a lot about what games actually output as far as FPS and stuff on PC. And we were talking a lot about this. And then conveniently, as I'm talking about this, and I have a purpose and getting a lot of views, a certain streamer that has cookies in his name used to show up all the fucking time, just all the time, and be in my chat, and he would cause a problem for the dynamic. He really would. He's just there. He's a streamer, and he's always chatting. And the problem with doing that is then people expect that. There's a certain expectation that, oh wow, let's get another place. There's a certain expectation that, what is this? There's a certain expectation that's going to continue, and the people watching, this is part of the show, we planned this, yada yada yada. We didn't. He would often show up unannounced, just say those things. It wasn't part of any show, it wasn't part of the act, nothing. And he would constantly just do that. And there were times where there were times where like it was kind of clear that he didn't like, he kind of had an issue with the fact that maybe his streams weren't getting as many views. And I was already like doubling his views like halfway through the stream and stuff. And then like that was when he started talking about, if you remember, like I stopped coming to his chat because the one time I came in his chat, the entire chat stopped chatting. The very second that I started typing, the very second that I came in the chat, nobody made me feel welcome. And so it was very obvious that like there was some sort of planned thing, where everybody was again, or he was telling people things, essentially he was telling people things to make them feel uncomfortable enough that if I would start talking, you know what I mean, it would cause that. And so anyway, I started just getting the idea, the very obvious notion that he was hanging around to essentially complain, and through whining and complaining that he's not getting viewers while in my chat, some people will go and give him views. And then, the idea is that when I was having a stream that was a bad stream, he would cause some sort of issue. And I'm not going to tell you what it is now, but the idea is that I conveniently told certain people things that if they did them, it would cause a technical glitch or issue, and I would then like yell about it and say it was a scammer and yada yada yada, and complain that YouTube safety isn't good, yada yada, such and such. And so the point is that as I'm doing this, as I'm complaining about this, the point is for everybody else to recognize what it is, and to see that I'm smart enough, being a martial arts instructor, having that, like, the point is I told you guys all that stuff. And like to show you the content and actually show you that I can do it, and make even newer content again, showing you that I still can. Like, I don't get where some folks lost it, but I think some still do get it. And the point was for enough people that got it to essentially see that I was playing this role where it was, obvious to some that got it that, the very moment these guys came in, I'm a martial arts instructor. What do I give a shit? You know what I mean? Like I've dealt with, you know, plenty of more stressful situations than that, and people, very large guys in front of me that you would probably be very scared of, and you know, handled myself no problem. You know, so the point is, like, you know, these folks coming to my chat saying these things, you know, it doesn't actually get me riled up. The point is to make them think that it does. The point is to show just how bad this situation is. You know what I mean? I can be an analyst as much as I want, but it takes people to actually trust what I'm showing you and what I recognize in the world that's happening. It's not just here, too. This is a world issue. Can I be honest? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There are some things that, because the US is the way it is, other people look to us for guidance, almost. Like, how should we feel about this or that? And you should not do that. You should not do that. The US is a fairly new country. Yes, our ways of diplomacy and our government, our governing, are actually pretty good. They actually are. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the freedoms and liberties that we do. What I want you to realize, though, is that people from this country think that like they just have this ornate ability to, I don't know if I call it an ability, they just have this organic sort of built-in way of feeling kind of entitled. You know, almost like I know everything. And I don't understand why people forego new information to try to feel prideful, I guess. To gulp on their pride. Like, what's the purpose? What do you get out of that? Like I genuinely want you to understand that there's a reason. Like, for example, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. A bunch of immigrants coming to this country isn't a problem. It's not. Legally letting immigrants come to this country is not a problem. This country was built on that, and it has very good ways of doing it. It's a problem for other countries because they're smaller physically. They don't have as much space. You know, there are places where, like, you're driving on the street and there's barely enough, your car scrapes the buildings. Okay? It's not like that here. This parking, even just this parking lot I'm sitting in, with how empty it is a perfect example of what you would never see in England, France. Okay, you need to understand that you are very shut off from the rest of the world, and you have not evolved the rest of the world the way the rest of the world did. We are so cut off here, being on this continent. You think you're gonna not like this, but Every single person in this country has Western thought. We are Western culture. And yeah, it gets more extreme towards obviously the western part of the country, but my point is all of us are that way. So why don't you listen to the people who have embraced it and gotten it right? The folks in California that understand politics and the way they work. Why don't you actually listen to their guidance from once in a while instead of just being like, oh no, it's not that way. It's not. Nope, it's not. It's this very dumb way that I'm explaining that I don't know what I'm talking about. Instead of that complicated way that made more sense. Why do you do this? Does it help? Does it make you feel better? It shouldn't. All you did was make something up and resist new information. That's not how anything works in the world, in life. You will fail. The only way that you succeed doing that is stepping on other people, and we've come full circle back to what I was talking about. This is why Donald Trump does well. This is why people like him and Elon Musk do well. They are okay with firing people, kicking people when they're down, bullying people. They don't care. If Elon Musk gave a shit, he wouldn't have bought Twitter and laid everyone off. You have to realize that the way you think about politics and the way you view the world is probably not correct, because you haven't been there. You barely look at a news article, if you even look at one. How long do you watch your Fox News to get caught up with the latest Donald Trump? What's going on with him? How long do you even watch that? A few seconds of snippets of what he said? Well, no wonder you don't know what's going on. He doesn't say things that are accurate. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you, the whole drone thing. Here's the thing about the drones. You have to realize this is kind of like goes along with what we were just talking about. Folks kind of like in this country seem to have lost their ability to reasonably look at a situation. They just hear about it and get more chaotic, and it's actually even worse. Like it's actually way worse. You know how like the whole premise of The Dark Knight was that the Joker was gonna prove that, essentially people were okay with chaos. They were okay with it as long as they knew what was gonna happen. And then the whole point was that in the end, everybody on it and both boats chose not to blow each other up. They chose the correct option, because when they reasonably thought about it, they knew that they didn't have a right to do it. That's the correct choice. And because they both made the correct choice, both people in responsibility of that remote, none of them died. Do you remember what JFK did? None of you are alive. When everybody was going to nuke each other, Cuban Missile Crisis and all that stuff, when everybody was going to nuke each other and we were really worried about just nuclear warfare, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Everybody was telling JFK to strike first. We have to strike first. If we strike first, then we actually have a chance. That's what everybody was telling them. Do you know what he did? That's right. Nothing. He chose the correct option, same as the people in the boats on the Dark Knight. This is what nobody's actually doing. This is the point. This is what nobody's actually done. That was a movie. Nobody's actually doing that. You're all twisting that as fast as you possibly can so that you can survive. You vote for a guy that uses the most obvious ploy based on your most desperate desires, and he does it around every turn, and you vote for him. And you don't see why it's very obvious to tell that's not the guy you vote for. All he's doing is literally using the most desperate, talking points. So he uses your desperation. Oh, he's gonna fix everything. That sounds so much better. Instead of the reality of, I'm sorry, but he really can't. It's not rainbow and sunshine. Would you rather somebody that's gonna lie to you and make you think he's gonna fix everything? Would you rather somebody that's gonna be honest with you, tell you what he's gonna actually do? Maybe sometimes falls short, doesn't get it right, but for the most part, you can listen to what he says and know that he's speaking truth. I'd rather that. I don't want a yes man. I don't want some guy that's gonna lie to me so I don't know what's actually happening. I don't like that. That's what America kind of voted for, and he can't even deny it. He's already telling you everything opposite of what he said he was going to do. As president-elect, he's already said the opposite of everything. He said he was going to make Medicare better and Social Security better. No, he's slashing those things. He's literally telling you this stuff. He's actually telling you too. And nobody's like condemning him for it or anything like that, saying impeach him as soon as he gets there. Remove him from office if he could. You know he was impeached? You guys remember that, right? For legitimate reasons, too. I'm not talking like he slept with somebody. I'm talking like legitimate policy reasons. And like law reasons, like breaking the law and stuff. He just wasn't removed from office. Yeah. Good old Mitch McConnell. And remember, that's what you want to remember. Impeached, not removed from office. Oh, Bill Clinton, dur. Well, the point is, stop talking about the guy that actually balanced the budget, and the only reason he's impeached is because they sat there and used the Monica Lewinsky scandal. I mean, like honestly, who actually gives a shit? You can't tell me that people that are actually voting for the President of the United States actually give a shit about stuff like that after voting for Trump. You cannot. Especially after the Roe versus Wade thing, after he literally is sitting there on a recorded tape admitting that he would just grab random female celebrities by their crotch, and that's okay. Just wanted to remind you all that. So anyway, this has just been a little bit of a talk today. I was supposed to be better today. Had a little bit of a reaction to my medication, so I had to take it easy again today. So that's why you guys haven't seen me yet. I really, truthfully, was feeling a lot better, and then I threw up a bunch of times this morning, and so I just want to, take it easy. I'm just moving slow, guys. Normally, I'm a pretty fast-paced person because I have a lot to do. And so I gotta just move quickly. But today, I'm just in slow motion, so it's taking me a little bit of time to do what we're gonna do today. Like I said, guys, if we ever kick this whole thing with people, with just getting troll the absurd amounts that we are and stuff like that. Like, honestly, like, again, like, it's not like it actually like gets to me. It's more like, again, I care about the safety on the channel, and I also care about the fact that when you guys are watching, you want to watch the content. That can be frustrating for you. You know what I mean? You want to watch the content, if there's this glitch constantly, technical issues, whatever. So, like, the idea is just to make sure it's like a seamless, smooth content for you guys to be able to watch. That's all. And again, the safety of the platform. I talked about this before, but it's not the first time in my life that I made myself a target of bullying on purpose to save somebody else from being the target as well. I'm used to doing these things. It's what I do, kind of. I guess I just don't know how to not do it. But when I just, again, I sort of went with it at a certain point. You'll have to get caught up if you're just watching. I explained a lot of it earlier, but at a certain point, I realized what I was doing, and I was set up perfectly to kind of go along with it. So I just did, and it had this sort of way of showing me who I can and can't trust. And the point is, if somebody's gonna bully you, and you make yourself a target, and they do, well, you know who they are. It's that simple. I mean, there's a certain it takes a certain type of person that, like, for example, like, if you're sitting there and you look a certain way, kind of, you know what I mean, like, you have that target sort of kind of look about you. Maybe you're kind of goofy. I'll admit that, like, I have this goofiness about me, and so you just, there's going to be one person, and there's going to be another person. There's going to be one person that looks at that and goes, man, they're actually going to convince themselves they're doing it for good too, probably. They're going to tell themselves, man, I gotta show this person how their goofiness makes them a target. And they truthfully look at it like that. They look at it like they're hazing you to not be like that. But you have to realize, these are the racists. These are the prejudiced. These are the people that in the back of their minds, they do this to other groups of people. They think this way. That's that type of thinking. And they would never admit it outright. They would never tell you. They probably don't even realize it themselves. But this is that type of thinking. They just haven't realized it. They don't understand it. And that's the type of person that says, man, I gotta just let him know. I gotta pick on him a little bit this way and this way to let him know, to show him, like, essentially he's got to figure it out for himself, to show him, no. You could just treat me the same as everybody else, even though I'm goofy. You could do that. And I remember, like, one of the things that I really wish that I had more ability to have done in school. Now she was much older than I was, but when I was like freshman, I think, like younger in high school, I saw this lady. She was really pretty, but she had a birthmark, like, on her face. It covered, like, a good bit of the side of her face, and she was, like, really pretty, but she just had this birthmark. And I just knew, like, there's no way that, like, oh, by the way, the other person's, just gonna treat you with respect and treat you, by the way. I knew that that's the point. There was gonna be that other person always, picking on her. And I flat out, I knew that there was going to be some people she was friends with too, that may have even done this, and they think it's funny, and they think she's okay with it. She's not. She's going to tell you she is. He or she, doesn't matter. They, doesn't matter. they are going to tell you they're okay with it. They're not. They just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear your ridiculous, incessant making fun of them for, oh, their feelings. Oh, now it's something else. Okay, so now it's something else. No, people need to just start identifying who the fucking bullies are. It's that simple. So the point was, that was what I was doing on this channel for a long time. And I think some people are thanking me for it. I think there are some creators and some people out there that did sort of see it for what it is, kind of, regardless of how ridiculous things got at times and stuff like that. And I'm sorry if you got caught in the mix and all that. It's tough to see who the good ones are when you're making yourself a target like that, and you know, you just want to meet people in general, you know, but you know, it's an interesting world, you know, on that platform, but on this one I should say. But anyway, the point is that I want more folks in this country to start taking, like in another country, for example, you guys know why Gordon Ramsay can so regularly call somebody stupid, right? You guys realize this, right? Like, because it's not like it is, but it sort of isn't. In another country, that's not what it means. Like here, for some reason, we get all bent out of shape and stuff when somebody calls us stupid. It really, it's intended as a tool. Like, truthfully, in England, if somebody calls you stupid, the response you should have is to prove you're not. Prove it right now. Well, and if you can't, well, I guess you're stupid with that thing that I'm calling you stupid with. Get not stupid with it. That's the point. And it's truthfully not an insult. I don't mean it that way. I don't even think Gordon means it that way when he says it too. Really, I don't. I really think he's actually genuinely asking, are you stupid? Please own up to it, because that's the only way that you move forward from this and not be stupid. You have to admit to yourself you're being stupid with this. It's not the right way to do it. There's a right and a wrong with certain things. With American politics, there is a right and a wrong person for somebody that you would consider for a position in office, as the president and stuff like that. That's why, like, there's certain people we can just be like, no. I mean, even I'll admit, truthfully, like, I didn't want Mitt Romney in office either. Like, I did not want that guy in office either. Like, there's plenty other, trust me, there's plenty other people I don't want in office. I mean, I'm not like sitting here advocating for every politician out there. Who doesn't want Bernie though? Like, why couldn't we have gotten Bernie? And the guy is still seemingly like intelligent, like all with it. Isn't he older than Biden? I don't even know. But like, the point is, like, there are better people than the ones we've gotten. There are better choices. And I think oh, there you go, guys. Yeah, I was wondering when it was going to happen. I figured it would happen right around when I mentioned politics again. There's the troll starting to slowly remove his likes. I have no doubt some of those are legit, so thank you. Appreciate it. But I just wanted to call it out so you guys could see it happening. I do appreciate the support, though. Anyway, I should get going. I do have some things to do. I do want to stream. So if I'm going to get to that, you know, I better get some of these things done. That's pretty cool that we had a snow, though. It's pretty cool. You guys wanna... I'm just wearing a hoodie today. I'm okay. I'm not like dying or anything. But this morning I was not okay. Yeah, this morning I was not okay. And I have to just deal with it because I have to take the medicine. So, but yeah, it's a pretty nasty reaction. I'll say that. But anyway, like I said, I gotta get going. I gotta do. I came here to actually shop, so it's not like I'm just like sitting here. So I actually do need to get going and get back, so that way we can do stuff too, and I can have the appropriate time to just slow down. Again, normally I'm even kind of talking slow. I think normally I'm a very fast-paced person. I think quickly. I sort of do things quickly. Um, so I need to, I think, just slow down while I'm not feeling well and stuff, you know. So anyway, let me go and get stuff. So I will get some stuff, food. And then I will talk to you guys later. I will talk to you guys later, and I appreciate your support. Thank you again. I wish I could give you an estimate, but like I said, I'm in slow motion today, so I gotta take it easy today. So I don't really know. So hopefully sooner than later, right? I think it won't be too late. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.